The women's retreat started Friday afternoon, November 10th, 2023. 3 days. 250 women from Restoration Covenant Church packed into a mountain conference center 2 hours outside the city. Friday through Sunday. Theme: Breaking Chains, the Power of Truth. Speaker: Dr. Sharon Mitchell, renowned Bible teacher and author. Women had been registering for months, excited, anticipating, hungry for breakthrough. These retreats happened once a year, always powerful, always life-changing, always exactly what we needed. I was excited too. Needed this retreat, needed time away from kids, work, responsibilities, needed time to worship, pray, encounter God, needed time with my church sisters, especially with Camille, my best friend, my sister, not biological, but spiritual. We'd been inseparable for 6 years, since she joined Restoration Covenant in 2017. Both of us 32 when we met, both married, both mothers, both passionate about ministry. We clicked immediately. Within months, we were doing everything together: Bible study, prayer meetings, coffee dates, shopping trips, play dates with our kids. She was at my house 3 times a week. I was at hers just as often. We knew everything about each other, every struggle, every victory, every secret. She was my person, my safe place, my sister. She was also my roommate for the retreat. We'd requested to room together. Room 214, 2 double beds, 3 days of sister time. Worshipping together, learning together, processing together, praying together. Perfect. Except it wasn't perfect. Because Saturday afternoon, during the transparency session, Camille would stand up in front of 250 women and confess something that would shatter my world. Confess that for the past 18 months she'd been sleeping with my husband. Confess that every coffee date, every prayer meeting, every time she came to my house, she was secretly destroying my marriage from the inside. Confess that the sister I trusted with my life had betrayed me in the worst possible way. And confess that she was pregnant. 4 months pregnant. With my husband's baby. This is the story of how my church sister stood up and confessed everything. How a women's retreat became the site of my worst nightmare. How truth, even devastating truth, set me free. How God took the most humiliating moment of my life and turned it into the most powerful testimony I've ever witnessed. Because sometimes God allows betrayal to expose what's been hidden. Sometimes He permits public humiliation to give public vindication. Sometimes He lets you lose everything so He can give you something better. And that weekend, God did exactly that. My name is Destiny Williams. I'm 38 years old, African American, born and raised in Charlotte, married to Raymond Williams for 16 years. Met him when I was 20, he was 22, both attending community college, both working part-time jobs, both trying to figure out life. We met in a psychology class, study partners turned friends turned more, started dating after 3 months, engaged 2 years later, married a year after that in a small ceremony with 75 guests at my mother's church. Raymond is a good man, at least I thought he was. Hard worker, provides well. We own a small home, 2 cars, decent savings. He works as an operations manager at a manufacturing plant, makes $78,000 a year. Good money, stable job, benefits, security. He's not flashy, not dramatic, just steady, reliable. Or so I thought. We have 3 children. Jordan, 14 years old, freshman in high school, loves football and music. Kennedy, 11 years old, 6th grade, loves reading and soccer. And Micah, 7 years old, 2nd grade. Loves dinosaurs and building things. They're my world, my everything, my purpose. I work as a dental hygienist, make $52,000 a year, part-time, 4 days a week, allows me to be available for the kids, to be present, to be involved. We're that family, the solid family. Not perfect, not pretending to be, but stable, consistent, faithful church members, serve on various teams, host small group, volunteer, give, show up. People respect us, look up to us, see us as an example. strong marriage, great kids, good life, but behind that image, cracks had been forming. For about 18 months, since May 2022, Raymond had become distant, preoccupied, working late more often, going to the gym more, paying more attention to his appearance, new clothes, new cologne, haircuts more frequently. I noticed, asked about it. He said he just wanted to take better care of himself, get healthy, look better. Nothing wrong with that. I believed him, supported him, encouraged him, didn't suspect anything. Camille had been acting strange too, for the same 18 months, more secretive, more emotional, more needy, always wanting to talk, always crying about her marriage. Her husband Derek didn't understand her, didn't appreciate her, didn't see her. She felt invisible, undervalued, unloved. I listened, counseled, prayed with her, encouraged her to work on her marriage, to communicate with Derek, to seek counseling. She said she would, said she was trying, said it was hard. I felt sorry for her, wanted to help, wanted to be a good friend, a good sister. I never suspected they were connected. Raymond's changes, Camille's struggles, never crossed my mind that they were connected to each other. That Raymond was the reason Camille was crying. That Camille was the reason Raymond was changing. That they were destroying both our marriages together, while pretending to be faithful, while sitting in my living room, in my house, at my table, eating my food, playing with my kids, lying to my face. I should have seen it, should have noticed, should have trusted my instincts, but I didn't. Because Camille was my sister, my best friend. Why would I suspect her? Why would I imagine she was capable of such betrayal? So I ignored the red flags, dismissed the unease, trusted when I should have investigated, and it cost me everything. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up. Let me tell you about the retreat, about Friday, about the hours before everything changed. Friday, November 10th, 2023. I woke up at 6 a.m., excited, packed, ready. The kids were spending the weekend with Raymond's mother. Raymond was having guys' weekend, golf, games, whatever men do when their wives are gone. I didn't care. I was focused on retreat, on 3 days away, on rest, on God. I loaded my bags in the car at 8 a.m., drove to the church, meeting point. Buses would take us to the conference center. Carpooling encouraged. Community building. I parked, got out, saw Camille walking toward me, big smile, arms open. Destiny, I'm so excited. 3 days with my sister. She hugged me, tight, long. I hugged back, equally excited. This is going to be amazing. I need this, need time away, need to refocus. She nodded. Me too. I need breakthrough, need clarity, need God to speak. I squeezed her hand. He will. He always does. We boarded the bus, sat together, talked, laughed, sang worship songs with the other women. The atmosphere was joyful, anticipatory, hungry. 2.5 hours later, we arrived at Mountain Ridge Conference Center. Beautiful facility, nestled in the mountains, surrounded by trees, away from everything. Perfect place to encounter God. Perfect place to unplug, to focus, to be present. We checked in, got our room assignments. Room 214, second floor, corner room. We grabbed our bags, headed upstairs, opened the door. Nice room. 2 double beds, bathroom, small sitting area. Simple but comfortable. We unpacked, settled in, changed into comfortable clothes. Headed to the main hall for the opening session. At 3 p.m., all 250 women gathered in the conference hall. Large space, comfortable seating, stage with sound system, screens, professional setup. Pastor Michelle, our women's ministry director, welcomed everyone, prayed, set the tone, explained the schedule. Friday afternoon, opening worship and teaching. Friday evening, dinner and small group discussions. Saturday morning, worship and teaching. Saturday afternoon, transparency session. Saturday evening, celebration dinner. Sunday morning, final worship and sending. Then she introduced Dr. Sharon Mitchell, the speaker, renowned author, Bible teacher, powerful woman of God, in her 60s, gray hair, kind eyes, fierce spirit. She walked to the stage, opened her Bible, smiled at us. Welcome, daughters. Welcome to breaking chains. Welcome to the power of truth. This weekend, God is going to set you free. Free from secrets, free from shame, free from bondage, free from whatever has been holding you back. But freedom requires truth, and truth requires courage, and courage requires surrender. So I'm asking you right now, before we even begin, to surrender. Surrender your fears. Surrender your pride. Surrender your need to look good. Surrender your image. Surrender everything. Because God can't heal what you won't reveal. He can't fix what you won't confess. He can't break chains you won't acknowledge. So surrender. And watch what God does. She prayed. Powerful prayer, anointed prayer. The presence of God descended. Heavy, thick. Women started crying. Already, just from the prayer, just from the invitation. That's how hungry we were, how ready, how desperate. Dr. Sharon taught for an hour on John 8. The woman caught in adultery, brought before Jesus, accusers ready to stone her. Jesus writing in the sand. Then, speaking, "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone." One by one, they dropped their stones, left, until only Jesus and the woman remained. He asked, "Where are your accusers?" She said, "They're gone." He said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." Dr. Sharon unpacked it, talked about how we're all that woman, all caught, all guilty, all deserving stones. But Jesus doesn't condemn. He redeems. He doesn't shame. He frees. He doesn't expose to destroy. He exposes to heal. And the key is confession. Bringing our sin to light, not hiding, not pretending, not covering, but confessing. Because confession disarms accusers. Confession removes power from shame. Confession opens the door for grace. It was powerful, convicting. Women were weeping, nodding, receiving. I was taking notes, underlining, highlighting, feeling God minister to my heart about things I'd been hiding. Not big things, not affair, not major sin, but small compromises, small lies, small areas where I wasn't walking in full integrity. God was dealing with me, gently, firmly, lovingly. I glanced at Camille. She was crying, hard, shoulders shaking, face in hands. I put my arm around her. "You okay?" She nodded, just feeling convicted. God is dealing with me. I squeezed her. "That's good. Let him work. Let him heal." She nodded again, wiped her face, kept crying. After the session, we had dinner, buffet style, good food, fellowship, laughter, connection. Camille was quiet, withdrawn, not eating much. I asked if she was okay. She said yes, just processing, just feeling heavy. I told her to take her time, to let God work, to not rush. She nodded, excused herself, went to the bathroom, was gone 20 minutes. When she came back, her eyes were red, swollen, like she'd been crying hard. "You sure you're okay?" I asked again. She forced a smile. "I will be. Just going through something. We'll talk later. Okay?" That night, back in our room, I tried to get her to open up. We were getting ready for bed, brushing teeth, washing faces. I asked what was going on. What was God dealing with her about? She hesitated, then said, "Destiny, have you ever done something so wrong, so evil, that you don't know if God can forgive you?" I looked at her, surprised. Of course God can forgive you. That's what grace is. That's what Jesus died for. No sin is too big for God's grace. She shook her head. "You don't understand. What I did, it's unforgivable. It's evil. It's the worst kind of betrayal. I don't know if I can even confess it. Don't know if I should. Maybe some things should stay buried." I sat on her bed, held her hand. "Camille, nothing should stay buried. That's what Dr. Sharon taught tonight. Buried sin festers, grows, destroys, but confessed sin can be healed, Whatever you did, God can forgive, and I'm here. I'm your sister. You can tell me anything. Anything. She looked at me, eyes filled with tears. Not this. I can't tell you this. She pulled her hand away, went to bed, turned away from me, wouldn't talk anymore. I laid in my bed, confused, concerned. What had Camille done? What was she carrying? What was eating her alive? I prayed for her, asked God to give her courage, to help her confess, to set her free. Then I fell asleep, exhausted, emotionally drained from the day. Saturday morning we woke early, 7 a.m. Breakfast at 8, morning session at 9. Camille was still quiet, still withdrawn. We got dressed. Went to breakfast. She barely ate, just picked at her food, stared at nothing. I tried to engage her. She gave short answers, distant, distracted. At 9 a.m., we gathered for the morning session. Dr. Sharon taught on Psalm 51. David's prayer after being confronted about his sin with Bathsheba. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your loving kindness. According to the multitude of your tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. She talked about true repentance, about acknowledging, about owning, about not making excuses. David didn't say Bathsheba seduced me, didn't say I was lonely, didn't say I deserved it. He said I sinned, against you, against others, against myself. I did this. I'm responsible. I need mercy. That's repentance. Taking full responsibility, not blaming, not justifying, just confessing. More powerful teaching, more conviction, more tears. The atmosphere was heavy. You could feel God pressing, pushing, preparing us for what was coming. After the morning session, we had lunch, then free time until 3 p.m., the transparency session. Camille went to our room, said she needed to be alone, to pray, to think. I let her go, spent time with other women, walked the grounds, journaled, prayed, prepared my heart for the afternoon. At 3 p.m., we gathered again. This session was different. Smaller groups, 50 women per room. 5 rooms total, facilitators for each group. Mine was Mother Patricia, 75 years old, prayer warrior, been at Restoration Covenant for 40 years, wise, discerning, safe. We sat in a circle, 50 women. Mother Patricia explained the format. This is a transparency session, a safe space to confess, to share, to bring things to light. What's shared here stays here. We're not here to judge. We're here to support, to pray, to witness God's healing power. You don't have to share. But if God is prompting you, I encourage you to obey. There's freedom in confession. There's healing in honesty. 3 women shared. 1 confessed struggling with pornography. 1 confessed having an abortion 20 years ago and never forgiving herself. 1 confessed stealing money from her employer. Each confession was met with love, with prayer, with support, no judgment, just grace, just compassion, just women holding each other in pain. Then Camille raised her hand. Mother Patricia nodded. Yes, daughter. Camille stood up, looked around the circle. Her eyes landed on me, and stayed on me. Something in her expression made my stomach drop, made my hands start shaking, made my spirit alert. She took a deep breath, started speaking. Her voice was shaking, barely above a whisper. But in that silent room, everyone heard. My name is Camille, and I need to confess something. Something I've been carrying for 18 months. Something that's destroying me, destroying others, destroying families. And I can't carry it anymore, can't live with it anymore, can't pretend anymore. She paused, wiped tears, continued. 18 months ago, I started having an affair with a married man from our church, a man whose wife is my best friend, my sister, a man whose children play with my children, a man who trusted me, whose wife trusted me, whose family trusted me. And I destroyed that trust, destroyed that family, destroyed everything, while pretending to be faithful, while sitting in their home, while counseling his wife, while praying with her, while being her sister. I was sleeping with her husband, lying to her face, destroying her marriage from the inside. The room went silent, completely silent, every woman frozen, staring, trying to process. I felt like I couldn't breathe, couldn't think, couldn't move. She couldn't be talking about me, about Raymond. This couldn't be real. This couldn't be happening. Camille continued, still looking at me, tears streaming. And it gets worse. I'm pregnant, 4 months pregnant, with his baby, and I don't know what to do. Don't know how to fix this, don't know how to make this right. All I know is I can't keep lying, can't keep pretending, can't keep destroying her. So I'm confessing, here, now, in front of all these women, in front of her. Destiny, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I slept with Raymond for 18 months, and I'm pregnant with his baby, and I've destroyed you. Destroyed your marriage, destroyed your trust, destroyed everything. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't breathe, couldn't see, couldn't hear. Everything went fuzzy, distant, like I was underwater, like this was happening to someone else, like I was watching from outside my body. Camille, my sister, my best friend, had been sleeping with Raymond, my husband, for 18 months and was pregnant with his baby. 4 months pregnant. I stood up, legs shaking, voice barely working. You what? You what? You slept with my husband for 18 months while being my friend, my sister, while coming to my house, playing with my kids, praying with me? All of it was a lie? All of it? Camille nodded, sobbing. I'm so sorry. I know there's no excuse, no explanation that makes it okay. I was wrong. I was evil. I was selfish. I destroyed you, and I'm sorry. I lunged at her, fully lunged, hands reaching for her, to hit her, to hurt her, to make her feel what I was feeling. Mother Patricia and 2 other women grabbed me, held me back, restrained me. Let me go, let me go. She deserves it. She deserves to be hurt. She destroyed my life, my marriage, my family, everything. Let me go. They held me tight, kept me from reaching her. Mother Patricia spoke firmly. Sister Destiny, I understand. I understand your pain, your rage, your devastation. But violence isn't the answer. This isn't the way. Let's step outside. Let's process. Let's pray. Come with me. She pulled me out of the circle, out of the room, into the hallway. I collapsed, right there in the hallway, on the floor, sobbing, screaming, pounding the ground. Mother Patricia sat with me, held me, let me release, let me break, let me feel. After 20 minutes, I calmed enough to talk, to think, to process. Mother Patricia asked, "Did you know? Did you suspect?" I shook my head. No, I had no idea. I trusted them both, completely. She was my best friend. He's my husband. Why would I suspect? She nodded. I'm so sorry. So incredibly sorry. This is devastating, brutal, the worst kind of betrayal. But God is still here, still present, still faithful, even in this, especially in this. I looked at her. How? How is God faithful in this? How is he present? How can he allow this? Allow my sister to betray me? Allow my husband to destroy our marriage? Allow me to be humiliated like this? In front of 50 women? How? Mother Patricia took my hands. Because buried sin was killing all of you, killing Camille, killing Raymond, killing your marriage, killing your trust. And God loved you too much to let it continue. So he forced exposure, forced confession, forced truth, not to destroy you, but to save you, to give you a chance to heal, to rebuild, to start over with honesty instead of lies. It doesn't feel like love right now, feels like cruelty. But it's love, hard love, painful love, but love nonetheless. I didn't believe her, couldn't believe her. How was this love? How was this anything but devastation? But I was too tired to argue, too broken to fight, just sat there, numb, empty, destroyed. After an hour, We went back to the room, my room. Room 214. Camille wasn't there. Someone said she'd been moved to a different room, for safety, for space. Good. I didn't want to see her, didn't want to be near her, didn't want to breathe the same air. I called Raymond. He answered on the first ring. "Hey babe, how's the retreat?" His voice was cheerful, casual, like everything was normal, like he wasn't destroying our marriage, like he wasn't about to become a father to another woman's child. "You need to come get me," I said. My voice was cold, dead, flat. "What? Why? What's wrong?" "Everything. Everything is wrong. Camille just confessed, in front of 50 women, that she's been sleeping with you for 18 months, that she's pregnant, with your baby. So you need to come, now, get me. Before I do something I'll regret." Silence, long silence. Then, oh God, Destiny, I'm so sorry. I hung up. Didn't want to hear it. Didn't want his apologies. Didn't want anything from him. Just wanted out. Out of this retreat, out of this situation, out of this life. 2 hours later, Raymond arrived. Walked into the conference center. Found me in the lobby, where I'd been sitting, waiting, staring at nothing. He approached slowly, cautiously, like approaching a wounded animal. "Destiny, I'm so sorry. Please, let me explain." "There's nothing to explain. You slept with my best friend for 18 months, got her pregnant. That's pretty clear. Let's go." I stood, walked to the car. He followed, silent, defeated. We drove home in silence, complete silence, 2 hours of nothing. When we pulled into the driveway, I got out, went straight to our bedroom, started packing his things. He followed. "What are you doing?" "Packing. You're leaving. Tonight." "But Destiny, please. Can we talk? Can we—" "No. You don't get to talk. You don't get to explain. You don't get anything. You destroyed us. You destroyed our marriage. You destroyed our family. While I was being a good wife, a faithful wife, a trusting wife, you were with her, my friend, my sister, creating a baby. So no, we're not talking. You're leaving." He started crying. "Please, please don't do this. I love you. I made a mistake, a terrible mistake, but I love you. I want our marriage. I want our family. Please." I laughed, harsh, cold, bitter. "You love me? You don't love me. You don't even know what love is. Love doesn't betray. Love doesn't lie. Love doesn't destroy. You don't love me. You never did. Now get out. Get out of my house. Get out of my life. Get out." He left, bags packed, went to stay with his brother, and I was alone. Completely alone. In a house that felt too big, too empty, too full of memories, of lies, of betrayal. The kids were still at his mother's. Wouldn't be back until Sunday evening. Good. I needed time. Time to process. Time to break. Time to figure out what to tell them, how to explain, how to protect them from this devastation. I didn't sleep Saturday night. Just laid in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything, every conversation with Camille, every time she came over, every time she cried about her marriage, every time Raymond worked late, every time he went to the gym, every time I trusted, every time I believed, every time I was a fool. Sunday morning, I got a call from Pastor Michelle. "Destiny, I heard what happened. I'm so sorry, so incredibly sorry. Can I come see you?" I said yes. Needed someone, needed help, needed something. She came at 11 a.m., brought food, brought tissues, brought her presents. We sat, talked, cried. She prayed over me, asked how I was doing. I said I don't know how to feel, don't know what to do, don't know how to move forward, don't know anything anymore. She asked, "What do you want, right now, in this moment?" "What do you want?" I thought. Then answered, "I want truth. I want to know everything. I want to know how it started, when it started, where they met, how often, every detail. Because not knowing is torture. Wondering is worse than knowing. So I want truth, all of it." Pastor Michelle nodded. "I can arrange that, if you're sure, if you really want to know." I'm sure. Set it up. I need to face them. Both of them. Need to hear it. Need to know what I'm dealing with. Monday afternoon, we met at the church, neutral territory. Pastor Michelle's office, me, Raymond, Camille. Pastor Michelle as mediator. I sat across from them, looked at them, really looked at them, my husband, my friend, my betrayers. Pastor Michelle opened. We're here because Destiny has requested full disclosure. She wants to know everything. How the affair started, how long, how often, all of it, and both of you have agreed to provide that. To tell the truth. To give her what she needs, to make informed decisions about her marriage and her friendships. So let's begin. Raymond, start from the beginning. Raymond took a deep breath. It started May 2022, 18 months ago, at a church picnic. Destiny, you remember that day. You were running the kids' games. I was helping set up tables. Camille and Derek were fighting. She was crying. You were busy. So I went to comfort her, to pray with her, to encourage her. We talked for an hour. About marriage, about struggles, about feeling unappreciated, unloved. I related, told her I felt the same way, felt like you were always focused on the kids, on work, on ministry, never on me, never on us. She understood, said she felt invisible to Derek. We connected, bonded, exchanged numbers, said we'd pray for each other. He paused, wiped his face, continued. We started texting, daily, prayer requests, encouragement, support. It felt innocent, felt like friendship, like accountability. But it became more personal, more intimate, more emotional. We started meeting for coffee, to talk, to pray. Still felt innocent, still felt like just friends. But feelings developed, on both sides. I started thinking about her constantly, looking forward to seeing her, preferring her company to yours. And she felt the same. How often did you meet? I asked. My voice was eerily calm, detached, like asking about the weather. Once a week at first, then twice, then 3 times. We'd meet at coffee shops, parks, hotels. Always when you thought I was working late or at the gym. Always when Camille told you she had errands or appointments. We were careful, planned, intentional about hiding. When did it become physical? I asked. 2 months in, July 2022. We met at a hotel, said we just wanted privacy to talk, to pray. But we both knew. We both wanted more. And it happened. And after that, we couldn't stop, couldn't go back. We were having sex 2-3 times a week. For 16 months. Until Camille got pregnant. Until she started feeling convicted. Until she wanted to end it. I turned to Camille. She was crying silently. Why? Why did you do this? You were my friend. My sister. Why did you destroy me? Camille looked at me. Because I was jealous. Jealous of your marriage, your family, your life. Derek and I were falling apart. Couldn't connect. Couldn't communicate. Couldn't fix it. And you had Raymond, who seemed perfect, who seemed attentive, who seemed like everything I didn't have. And when he started confiding in me, when he said he felt neglected, when he said he needed more, I saw an opportunity, saw a way to feel wanted, to feel valued, to feel chosen. So I pursued it, pursued him, made myself available, made it easy, seduced him into thinking I was what he needed, what he was missing. And it worked. He chose me. For 18 months, he chose me. And I convinced myself it was okay. Because you had everything else. You had the perfect family, the perfect life. You didn't need him the way I did. But I was wrong, so wrong, and I destroyed you. Destroyed your family. Destroyed your trust. For my own selfish reasons. And I'm sorry. So incredibly sorry. I sat there, processing, feeling everything and nothing at the same time. Rage, betrayal, hurt, devastation. But also something unexpected. Relief. Relief that I finally knew. Relief that the wondering was over. Relief that truth was out. Even devastating truth. Even truth that destroyed everything. At least it was truth. I looked at Raymond. I want a divorce. I'm filing this week. You destroyed our marriage, destroyed our family, destroyed 16 years for an affair, for her. I can't forgive that. Won't forgive that. We're done. He started crying. Please, please don't. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake, but I love you. I want to fix this. I want our marriage. Please, give me a chance. I shook my head. No. You had a chance. You had 16 years of chances. You chose to throw them away. You chose her. You chose lies. You chose betrayal. So now I'm choosing me, choosing my kids, choosing freedom from this. We're done. I turned to Camille. And you. We're done too. Done being friends. Done being sisters. Done pretending any of this was real. You're not my sister. You're not my friend. You're the woman who destroyed my life, so stay away from me. Stay away from my kids. Stay away from my family. Forever. She nodded, sobbing. I understand. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I stood, looked at Pastor Michelle. Thank you for facilitating. I have what I needed. Truth. Now I can move forward. I left, walked out, got in my car, drove home, and started the process of rebuilding my life. Over the next 6 months, November 2023 through May 2024, my life was chaos. Divorce proceedings, messy, painful. Raymond fought it. Didn't want to divorce, wanted to reconcile, wanted to fix it. I refused, filed, pushed through. Got it finalized April 2024. 5 months. He got visitation with the kids. Every other weekend, I got the house, primary custody, child support, half his retirement, everything. Not because I wanted to punish him, but because I deserved it. Deserved to be taken care of after what he did. The kids struggled. Jordan was angry, at his dad, at the situation, at everything. Grades dropped, attitude got worse, started counseling, started processing, slowly improving. Kennedy was sad, confused, missed her dad, missed family dinners, missed normal, also in counseling, also processing, also slowly healing. Micah was too young to fully understand. Just knew Dad didn't live with us anymore. Asked when he was coming back. I had to explain. Had to tell age-appropriate truth. It broke my heart. Camille had the baby. June 2024. A boy. Named him Carter, Raymond's son, his 4th child. First with her. He was torn. Excited about the baby. Devastated about losing me. Trying to navigate being present for Carter while maintaining relationship with Jordan, Kennedy, and Micah. It was complicated, messy, painful for everyone. Camille and Derek divorced too. He found out about the affair, about the baby, filed immediately, didn't want anything to do with her. She moved in with her mother, single mother, raising Carter alone. Raymond helped financially, but wasn't with her, didn't want a relationship with her, just wanted to be a father to Carter. It was complicated. The church was divided, half blamed Raymond and Camille, half extended grace. Some left, couldn't worship there anymore. Too much drama, too much pain. Others stayed, believed in forgiveness, in restoration, in second chances. Pastor Michelle supported everyone, prayed for everyone, counseled everyone, held space for all the complexity. I stayed at Restoration Covenant. It was my church home, my community, my family. I wasn't leaving because of what Raymond and Camille did. This was my place, my worship, my God. So I stayed, served, showed up, held my head high, refused to be shamed for what they did. 6 months after the retreat confession, May 2024, Pastor Michelle asked me to share my testimony at the women's ministry meeting. Said my story needed to be told, said women needed to hear about betrayal and healing, about devastation and restoration, about losing everything and finding yourself. I agreed, nervous, but willing. I stood in front of 150 women and told them everything. About Camille being my sister, about 18 months of betrayal, about the confession at retreat, about the devastation, about the divorce, about the healing process, about how God met me in the darkest place, about how He held me when I wanted to die, about how He gave me strength I didn't know I had, about how He's rebuilding me, slowly, piece by piece, into something stronger than I was before. The response was overwhelming. Women crying, hugging me, thanking me. Saying my story gave them hope, gave them permission to leave toxic situations, gave them courage to face betrayal, gave them strength to rebuild. I hadn't realized how powerful testimony is, how sharing your pain can heal others, how vulnerability creates connection. One woman came up after, said, "My best friend is sleeping with my husband." I suspected, but didn't want to believe, didn't want to investigate. Your story gave me courage to face it, to demand truth, to stop living in denial. Thank you. I hugged her, prayed for her, told her she's stronger than she thinks, told her God will carry her through, just like He carried me. 2 years after the retreat confession, November 2025, I'm 40 years old, divorced, single mother of 3, dental hygienist, still at Restoration Covenant, still serving, still worshiping, still healing. Not healed completely, but healing. There are days I'm angry, days I cry, days I struggle. But there are more days I'm okay, days I'm grateful, days I see God's faithfulness in the ruins. Raymond is in my kids' lives, co-parenting, civil, not friends, but functional. He's a father to Carter, trying to balance multiple families. It's complicated, but he's showing up, doing his best. The kids are healing. Jordan's anger has lessened. He's talking to his dad again. Kennedy is adjusting, finding new normal. Micah is resilient, loves his little brother Carter, doesn't understand all the adult complications, just loves. Camille reached out 6 months ago, asked to talk, to apologize, to explain. I declined, said I've moved forward, don't need closure from her, don't need her apology, don't need anything from her. She's part of my past, not my present, not my future. She accepted that, said she understood, said she's sorry. I told her to direct that sorry to God, not to me, and hung up. I'm dating. Slowly, cautiously, not looking for anything serious, just testing waters, seeing what's out there, learning to trust again. It's hard, really hard, but I'm trying. One coffee date at a time, one conversation at a time, one step at a time. At my church women's retreat, my sister stood up and confessed everything. Confessed 18 months of betrayal, confessed an affair with my husband, confessed pregnancy, confessed destruction of my life. And in that confession, she did something she didn't intend. She set me free. Free from lies. Free from living in ignorance. Free from a marriage that was dead. Free from a friendship that was fake. Free from a life built on deception. Her confession destroyed me, but it also saved me. Saved me from living a lie. Saved me from trusting people who didn't deserve trust. Saved me from wasting more years on people who'd already wasted 18 months destroying me. 2 years later, I'm not the same woman. I'm stronger, wiser, more discerning, more careful, more protective of my heart. But I'm also more alive, more authentic, more real, because I don't pretend anymore. Don't fake it, don't perform. I'm just me, broken, healing, imperfect, real. And that's enough. God says it's enough. So it is. Camille's confession at that retreat was the worst moment of my life, the most humiliating, the most devastating. But it was also the most necessary, because buried truth was killing us all. Her, Raymond, me, our families. And God loved us too much to let it continue. So He forced exposure, used a women's retreat, used a transparency session, used confession to bring truth to light, to start healing, to give us all a chance to rebuild, honestly, authentically, truthfully. If you're listening to this, if you're in a situation where something is hidden, where lies are building, where betrayal is happening in secret, bring it to light, force the confession, face the truth. even if it destroys everything. Because anything built on lies will eventually crumble anyway. Better to face truth now, on your terms, than to have it explode later, on everyone else's terms. At my church, women's retreat, my sister stood up and confessed everything, and it changed my life, destroyed it, then rebuilt it into something stronger, truer, better, and I'm grateful. Not grateful for the betrayal, but grateful for the truth, grateful for the freedom, grateful for the God who turned my devastation into my testimony, my pain into my purpose, my humiliation into my victory. Subscribe for true stories about Black women who survived impossible betrayals. Hit like. If you believe truth, even devastating truth, sets you free. Comment. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted completely? How did you rebuild? Remember, confession exposes, but it also heals. See you in the next story.